Welcome to another stream where abstract just simply will not work for me. It has been the most ridiculous thing ever. So I figured it out. Talk with my friend, Yo Jeremy, and he tells me all the rundown. And so today, I'm like, today's the day. We're going to finally stream on abstract. Try to start the stream on abstract. Some console error, the application doesn't work. Try on like 4 different browsers. None of it's working. So we are another day without streaming on abstract, but we are live on X, YouTube, and Twitch. Welcome to another edition of X Feed. My name's the Schiller. We are talking about fan integration. We are talking about people selling the absolute bottom, potentially, off of the craziness that happened over the weekend and yesterday. Whole lot to get through. Thanks so much for tuning on in. I think I might have highlighted this before, but I want to follow up with it. So the Calgary Hitmen, it's a WHL team. If you're familiar with the NHL, there is like the National Hockey League, and then there is the AHL, which people that get drafted or signed to these NHL teams might happen to play in the AHL. But for the NHL and AHL, the farm teams are kind of all across the globe. And within the Canadian Hockey League, there is the Ontario Hockey League, Quebec League, and Western Hockey League. And this is one of them, one of the teams from Calgary. And they, I guess, had a competition of fans designing the jersey and allowing players to show off that jersey of the winner. And shout out Snaz, we actually saw this with Manchester United, a team you might be more familiar with, where she actually won one of the AI design contests for their jersey. And so I think we're going to see some of the players wearing that, and that's super, super exciting. But the reason why I brought this up is because I noticed on the same person's feed is that there was an advertisement with Paw Patrol and this hockey team, where it's two brands collabing. I mean, it's a little weird that you have like a hitman and like cute dogs from Paw Patrol. It's like, does that really work as a pairing? I suppose so. But we're going to start seeing these integrations a lot more. Do you like ads on jerseys? Well, if you like the brand itself that's a part of the ad, it might change your tune just a little bit. So a few days ago, there was the announcement from Jerome Powell, or I should say during his meeting, he said banks are perfectly able to serve crypto customers. And everybody's asking since when, and Scott Melker, who's a really big crypto personality, says Operation Choke Point 2.0 has been very real for the past 4 years. I know countless people who were debanked. And what's crazy, and why I'm bringing this up again, is the fact that 2:30, we're supposed to have this huge announcement regarding digital assets. When you look back on the past 4 years, how many things were not good in the space? Awesome just to reconvene on that point. Okay, we haven't talked about Futureverse too much lately, but am waiting to see what happens with Open Riverse. They're going to be having different sort of real estates based off of different NFT collections and vibes. This one is showing off what the Cool Cat one's going to look like. Very, very excited to see that, but just throwing it out there that I think we're going to see a lot coming from some of these bigger collections that are out there. That's something we also talked about the other day. So let me give the backstory, because you're probably like, why the hell are you bringing up stuff from the other day? So I was determined. Today, as I said, it was going to be the stream on Abstract. So I brought up all of these posts about abstract that we were going to go through because we were streaming on abstract. And now we're just not going to get to it. I mean, maybe we will anyway, but it's just, duh. So anyway, I came across some of these other things. And Midnight Society, this was the game studio that was backed by Dr. Disrespect. Obviously, there was like those legal issues that ended up getting rectified, but they dropped him. Studio ends up shutting down, and it feels like it's all really, really quiet on that front. However, I came across this video of him actually talking about what happened, mentioning about the transparency. Obviously, this is a game that integrated some NFTs within it, so let's hear what he had to say regarding the closure of his studio.
Rant. What's up? Is Midnight Society really closing down? Dead Drop shut down today. Yeah, it shut down. For those saying like, buy it, Doc. I already own it. Like, that's never changed. That never changed. Yeah. Studio closed down. Very unfortunate in the sense, and a lot of people went to that studio because of our specific vision, and I'll speak on this right now. All right, I chose not to speak about Midnight Society and Dead Drop and how they handled things with me, because it was just because it was still an active project. And these people who've got families and they're hardworking developers, they all went there because of our specific vision for a studio in the modern day of like, how does a studio come to be, right? In terms of this whole open development, transparent, high-level communication. We wanted our community right there beside us as we build the game. And that's kind of how we had to do things just based off of, investments and funding. And that's just the reality of when you want to build a very like high-level AAA gaming experience, you're going to, it's not like, hey, all right, there's $100 million to work with, right? We built it from the ground up, literally from the ground up. So, and so, there's a lot of passionate developers that came over there and worked with us or decided to take the chance in coming along with us with our vision of the studio and this particular game and game concept that I had in terms of this vertical battle royale experience. And we got.
So I don't want to go through all of it because it's 4 minutes and it's not like super exciting. He's going through the details and whatnot, but it is something to look at where you have all these massive studios. One thing goes wrong, boom, it goes poof. Now, is this shut down because of the Dr. Disrespect dropping? The fact that he was still an owner in it makes it seem like, why would you even drop it in the first place? Like, it just seems kind of stupid. Like, I get in the moment, 100%, but it's like, feels kind of like a knee-jerk reaction, and then just the fallout from it's just, I don't know. It kind of feels bad for all the people that are involved. But moving on, NFTs on ApeChain. It's weird when you look at these, and I might be a little bit biased, but I think there's a lot of people that have really, really cool artistry styles out there, and so many people are going to just not, and specifically artists are going to say, I'm just not going to do anything within NFTs or Web3. When in theory, they could absolutely smoke the current competition that's there, right? If you know a good artist, if they post it online or anything, you probably say for 95% of the things that you're seeing that are getting purchased right now, your friend, relative, whatever, could probably do better. And I'm just surprised that we don't see a lot more artists showing off some really, really cool things. But we have AI artists doing such a thing where this is showing off the Bored Ape Yacht Club filter that's coming for the meme machine out of Futureverse. I threw my Bored Ape through there, and this is what it spat out of my Bored Ape as a cool cat. So it's their meme machine. You can take whatever and put it through. It's one of the Futureverse quests right now, and I think that it's kind of neat. New Canadian investment company Purpose Invest is looking to beat U.S. issuers to the punch and launch the first XRP ETF. Purpose was the first to launch Bitcoin and spot ETH ETFs on the Toronto Stock Exchange in 2021. So yesterday, we talked about how Canada was first to these Bitcoin crypto ETFs. Kevin O'Leary going around about regulatory measures with other countries. There's a little bit of a backstory. The Artifact 3D team is signing off. So I guess Artifact is no longer at least part of that. And at the same news, Herman from Improbable, the studio that's helping Yuga build out Other Side, is tweeting saying, should we buy Artifact? And that's a curious question. Do we see any acquisitions of these big brands? Do you need a community where you can just pull people? Now, sure, maybe these communities aren't massive. They're between 3,000 to 5,000 people, but they're also Web3 native. They're going to be supportive of things, and you think they would help out with, getting the word out about whatever they are building. So what's the price of Artifact? Would it be sold? That is the question, and something to ponder. In the summer of 2007, someone paid $499 for an original 4GB iPhone. They never opened it. It sold last night for $50,000 plus at an auction house. The record for an iPhone was set by LCG for another 4GB in 2023 for $190,000. I don't think I've ever bought one. Well, I shouldn't say that. I need to think about that a little more. I'm trying to think of something that I've bought and just said, I'm never opening this in case it's worth a lot of money one day. Maybe the VFriends card boxes, in which I did sell. So that was, not a not a horrible purchase. But damn, the things that we wish we knew back in the day. Something that keeps happening. It's interesting. Founders are highlighting collections. They're just utilizing tokens associated with what they're doing. I felt for a while that there's been this boundary between founders and new projects. Everyone's wanting attention, so every new collection that launches anywhere is going to go to a notable name, whether it be Luca, whether it be Garga, whether it be Aaron from Futureverse. I'm trying to think of some like other collections. Zagabond for Azuki. And they'll be like, oh, you know, we're building on your chain. Talk about our thing. And so they probably get bombarded with these things. But I'm noticing a lot more where there's a support of where Garga here is highlighting this Catan. What the hell is this? Snapshot and distribution dates of the Catan airdrop. We're excited to share the details of the upcoming Dookie Floki Monkey Catan AI. So anyway, if you spent Ape and Dookie Dash, apparently you're getting an airdrop from this new collection. And Garga is supporting it. This is the Utah Hockey Club. What do you think? The Utah Mammoth, the Utah Outlaws, or the Utah Hockey Club? I think the Mammoth is kind of cool. The Outlaws is all right. Hockey Club, I like the logo, don't really like the name. I don't really like the name. I hope you survived the bear market of yesterday that lasted less than 24 hours. The market was insane. To be a part of anything yesterday, that was a once in a lifetime experience, to be totally honest. Well, maybe once in a cycle. Been in crypto. So yesterday, about 24 hours ago, happening now, President Trump signs an executive order calling for the creation of a sovereign wealth fund. And Senator Cynthia Lummis, who made that big deal prior to a few weeks ago, regarding something big is coming. We have that again with the Bitcoin B. This is a big deal. So the question is, does that just mean that this wealth fund is going to incorporate Bitcoin and only Bitcoin? Is it going to be more than that? We have a very interesting take regarding Bitcoin here in just a few minutes. But speaking of the founders that we went over a moment ago, this Tut individual made a art piece, I guess, for Luca, but then put it for sale for $300, trying to get him to buy it. I mean, like, I guess that's cool, but people are just like commenting, being like, why wouldn't you just give it for free? And it's like, well, that seems desperate. Like, I don't know, asking somebody to pay for art that they didn't like ask for, which it doesn't really look like there's any like resemblance to Luca, his Pudgy, or anything else. I don't know. When an influencer fills and shills, it's a crime. But when a member of the president's family does it, it's considered alpha. Well, yesterday, we'll get to Matt's post here in a second, but Eric Trump put out a tweet saying, in my opinion, it's a great time to add ETH. Now, if you click on the tweet, you'll realize that there's been some edits associated with it. And Matt here, Eric edited the post removing, you can thank me later. So they tweeted, in my opinion, it's a great time to add ETH. You can thank me later, and then edited that out because it seemed too much like shilling. And then Matt says, the concern I have with this is not the edit, but the implications. And then there's a meme of Ethereum gas fees being a lot and then food and rent being little. And true, Ethereum gas fees could go crazy. But is this saying that the 230 announcement coming out is going to specifically be related to Ethereum? Or is it crypto as a whole? Consider me in actual disbelief if this shit actually closes the daily green. If you didn't see the chart yesterday, what a dip. The fact that it ended green, once in a lifetime. There are people on this app who sold Solana at 176 last night. Okay? So if we go to Solana now, we go and see, what is this? These all look like they're like $200. Wait, actually, if we go, does it go like further back? I'm trying to see. Because did it even hit that low? If we go back 7 days. Oh, yeah. Okay, so there. So 183 at least is what's showing on like the peak bottom on this one. Right now at 214. So if you realize it was a flash out and you full ported in almost anything, you're up like a solid little bit, which isn't too bad. What has happened with the mega mutants out of Bored Ape Yacht Club? Do you remember the excitement around getting a mega serum? People were paying millions of dollars to get one, and I feel like we just don't see them talked about whatsoever. However, Lior, who owns the Trippy mega mutant, apparently has a plan. Get it into the hands of thousands of builders. More on this soon, okay? Thousands is a lot, but I'm down. Turn it into the mascot for the most important products in the space. This would This is going to be interesting because it's like, okay, where are you going to get the builders? How much money are you giving them? How are they going to get product market fit? They're already competing with the people that are building out the Pudgy Penguin brands, the people that are building out the Bored Ape brands and their own stuff. So ambitious, but let's go with it. Big consumer product partnerships. Okay. Launch meme coin to turbocharge retail attention. Okay, so does everybody that's retail just only want to buy meme coins? That is the question. Interesting thoughts all around. Raoul Paul, I can't express this more. If you follow successful traders on X and crypto to rent conviction, you will lose your mind unless you have long-term view with the research and conviction. Please, please, please zoom out and don't rent conviction or it will drive you insane. It's kind of the only thing that I have in terms of advice for people. I agree. It's like be convicted. Hold what you want to hold. Don't just jump into it because somebody else said it's good or you think it is on a whim. You know, DYOR, do your own research, feel convinced. And I'm convinced that the meme coin cycle stuff there's something new every week. It's just a no for me. And here's like another example where this one's talking about how they're finished with Moo Dang. Remember when Moo Dang was the meme of the day, like the hippo? And then like a week later, it's something else. It's like the narrative changes way too quickly. And if people want to trade all the time, that's cool. I really like people that are good at art. And Jacobo made like a side-facing ape, and this is awesome. And then I saw somebody in the comments being like, yo, relook at the Azuki traits and realize that they're like thinner lines. Like, dear God. Guy makes a crazy art piece, and somebody's saying your lines are too thick. Bro, it's amazing. Go with it. Go with it. So second thing we talked about, well, I totally forgot the train of thought there. But I was going to try to link it, but there's a question here about taxes and AI agents. So if an AI agent is buying and selling crypto, who pays the taxes? Bet we haven't thought about that. The creator of that agent? What if an AI agent created another agent that caused the taxable event? Is the creator agent liable? What if the AI agent doesn't want to pay? Who is going to enforce that? And Orion Pack says taxes are the old paradigm, which is funny in of itself because a lot of people will be like, well, hold on, how the hell does that work? But we're seeing reports of, well, what if in the US they just say it's only taxable for whatever you withdraw? And that part, I'm like, okay, that sounds brilliant. Because obviously, if you've been in crypto for a while, you've had some times where trades or whatever you've done have gone really well. You've had times where things have gone horribly. But you only pull out at X points of the year or on X trades. And it's like, hold on, how is every single move we do get taxed? And sure, all right, maybe we're a little bit biased and you say, if we pull out the fiat, we can do what we want. But it almost has to be a question when we have these AI agents, because I think everybody's fine with paying taxes. But in this particular situation, how do you handle that? And that's actually a problem. Like, how does that work? Because then you're going to have to set parameters. If we have agents that are going to trade for you, then you have to give them additional safeguards, I guess would be the word, or inputs for what they can and can't do. So Pranksy, they made this Pranksy Plays account a while ago and started shilling it. And I was like, this is odd, because Pranksy's been around for quite a while. Haven't seen them stream or anything. But earlier today, our very first video is live. To celebrate the occasion, SoRare have given us a signed Arsenal jersey to give away to one lucky winner. And I know Pranksy's involved with SoRare. I'm guessing this is Pranksy right here. Maybe that's the face reveal. But people that have a decent following that are in this Web3 space, they are going to get killer deals. SoRare raised like $600 million plus. It was by far the biggest raise across all of Web3. So they're putting that money to good use. VanEck subsidiary Market Vector launches MAGA 10, Make America Great Again, 10, America Crypto Leaders Index. So this is kind of funky. So we're excited to introduce the MAGA 10 Market Vector, American Crypto Leaders Index, giving investors a new way to watch, track, and build products on the growing U.S. crypto narrative. And this is like active, right? Like this is something that's here right now. A month, 2 months ago, I don't know if we were talking as much of, if it's an American-based crypto, maybe there's going to be different rules around it. And that changes the narrative entirely. So what is it? A rules-based index tracking the top 10 largest and most liquid U.S. domiciled digital assets, capturing the momentum of protocols that could benefit from upcoming regulations and potential U.S.-focused policies under a future administration. So why does it matter? With new crypto regulations expected in the U.S. and the possibility that a Trump administration could favor U.S. headquartered protocols, investors need a clear framework to track this shift. So tracks the top 10 largest and most liquid U.S. domiciled crypto assets, exclude stablecoins, meme coins, and privacy coins. That's super interesting. Quarterly review to adapt to market shifts, and component weight cap of 30% for diversification. So what do you think? Would you feel more comfortable purchasing an index or going with straight Bitcoin or doing your own thing? These are the questions. All right, so Loki the Bird says, this might be the last week you'll ever see legacy NFTs at these ridiculous prices. And is this based off of the notion that ETH is going to go up, so then NFTs are going to get risen for it? We saw previously when ETH caught a bid a couple months ago, the NFT market caught with it. Obviously, there was kind of a big flush out on top of the ETH crypto capitulation the other day, but then OnTerp says legacy NFTs in quotes and then highlights the Misfits universities. And if you don't know what this collection is, basically this was one of the most hyped up mints that we had back during some of the crazes. It came out originally, people were like, oh, this is great, but then realized that they had traits of like people with like tape over their mouths and it looked bad and it was a PR disaster. People ran with it and the collection essentially got canceled, better or worse. But it's historical because of that singular trait. Okay, so this is pretty crazy. Here's a take between Bo Turner and Jack Dorsey, and they are talking about Bitcoin. And this one's interesting.
What would stop it from being used from payments at this point, or what would relegate it to just being digital gold, in your opinion?
Well, no one uses it as payments. That's it. And if it's not as accessible in that sense, like if people don't understand how to use it as payments, if it's not easy, if merchants aren't accepting it, all these things will compound into people just not seeing it as relevant money, and instead of just being this digital gold rock.
Do you think that it's a lack of development? Because we have things like Lightning and Fetty and other kind of layer 2, more payments focused protocols that live on top of the Bitcoin base layer. But is it more of a it needs to be used question to you, or do you still think that there's far more to build?
There's always more to build. I just think it's not accessible to people. Number one issue is like people don't have Bitcoin and they have no reason to buy it other than the investment value. Number two is when they have Bitcoin, where can they actually use it if they can use it? So there's a lot of chicken and egg problems, and I think many of them are being worked on. But ultimately it has to come down to the fact that like people value this thing for a reason and they want to use it. So I do think, obviously, I think the investment vehicle is a good first step. We built a Cash App, we built a Bitcoin exchange in Cash App for that very purpose, because it's the fastest and easiest way to get people access to Bitcoin. But the next step is the hard one, which is like, how do they utilize it instead of just like watching it go up and down? How do they actually use it to exchange value? And how does that benefit like a merchant? How does it benefit an individual? So that's what we're focused on now.
So interesting point of views on that. Yo, Notorious, what's going on? How are we doing? We might still continue, and I will just do the abstract piece that I was going to save a little bit later and do it right now for the sake of it. But Notorious, hope you are doing well. Side note, if you guys are involved with Abstract and you're wanting to get whitelisted for a free mint, we've been working with the team at Segment to build out the RWA Segments podcast, which the link is in the description below if you're wanting to find out about the basics of real world asset tokenization, from watches to wine to everything under the sun. It's a very beginner focused podcast with some awesome names within the space. Again, links in the description below, or if you go to segment.io. With that being said, if you guys are wanting a free whitelist for Abstract's upcoming, well, it's on Abstract, but it's the Adventure Mint from Segment. If you go to their X page, which is at Segment.io, go in their Discord, open a ticket, and just say that you're looking for the whitelist, and the keyword is Schiller. We'll keep it super simple. If you go in that Discord, and this is, again, if you're watching a little bit later, they've offered up like 10 to 15 spots on the stream here. And so if you're interested, I don't know how many people are involved with Abstract, but would love for you guys to go make a ticket, be involved with that, and get a part of this Abstract whitelist. And it's free. It's free. It's free. It's free. So realize that's why we're doing it. There's nothing to be paid on that, but they are wanting to have kind of a specific allow list for this. So again, at segment.io, head to the Discord, open a ticket, say looking for a whitelist, keyword Schiller. The Digimon card. Yo, there's it there, and then there's it here right in front of me. It's awesome having something that gives you like that nostalgic hit right in front of you on your desk all the time. Highly recommend if you guys don't have something. Love the show. Hope that it comes in Web3. Got that. PSA 8. Okay, so Abstract Mainnet launched yesterday. Now, this tweet was back on January 28th, so it wasn't yesterday, but kind of funny to think about how recent it was with the shenanigans that we've seen across the entire space. But there's a list of things to do first. So let's run through it. So you can edit your profile. You can head to abs.xyz. And this is what you'll have to do as well when they do collect the wallet list for Segment. It'll create an Abstract wallet for you, smooth and simple, and then head to profile and edit user. So the catch with this, though, is do you make it where you connect your Web3 wallet because you claimed the Frame airdrop before, or do you just use your email? I just used my email, even though I wasn't even thinking about it at the time. But hopefully there's a way to link your wallet somehow, because currently it doesn't seem like that's actually an option to do so. The bridging the token is crazy simple. I was super shocked at how easy this was. So you put in whatever amount you're wanting to bridge over, and it will give you several different options, whether it's Coinbase, MoonPay, just simply bridging from whatever crypto wallet that you use, and super easy and simple. And then you can start earning different badges, which is highlighted on the front of this. So you can see in these corners, there is a whole bunch of different things, from joining the Discord to following on X to rating some of the different applications. And you don't even need to try them to rate them to unlock the badge. So that's something you can do straight away to go try it. They do have mini quests, which we just highlighted about connecting different things. And then for the stream area. So this is kind of funky, where you can see how you have to add the stream key. There's a stream. I've been very vocal about how I've had a hell of a time trying to do it. Apparently, the stream key changes each time. You have to start your live stream on whatever software that you're using. I use Streamlabs. And then once it's populating in the Abstract window, you can hit start stream and then share it with whoever you want. You have to get approved for it. Apparently, they're kiboshing anybody that's running like 24-hour live streams because it's costing them too much and it's not adding value to the platform. But you can earn XP from it and a lot of other things. So kind of cool to see it. Now, back then, a couple days ago, the Pengstracted collection, and this is where we go back to the artistry comment of, you know, if you got friends that are artists, I think you can find a pretty solid way to come up, if you will, through this. But I have seen a lot of people jump on to highlight that collection and be a part of it. So I'm going to go and try to find, oh, that's interesting. Monad is now highlighted on Magic Eden, but on Abstract, for these Pengstracted at the time, it was highlighted that they were at 0.018 and they are currently at 0.010. So again, doesn't seem like there's too much action for one of the collections highlighted the other day that seemed to go well off of the mint initially. We have highlighted again the Segment NFT mint. I forgot I had this in there, but again, the supply is 7,000. So again, join their Discord, open a ticket, keyword Schiller. And Kodama. The biggest mistake of Abstract was not to force one of their flagship NFT projects to launch on day one. A chain needs to launch with a big win, aka people making money, having FOMO, and having fun. So you need the flagship NFT project, some random meme coin exploding to 50 mil market cap, and gains lure in people. So what do you think about this? I've seen that Abstract streaming's been extremely successful from what I've seen, and a lot of people that have, you know, done similar content to where I do, like the Daily Show, they have their own, they're streaming on Abstract, it's going well, people are tipping, it's a very active community in that sense. The NFT wise, I haven't seen as much on the timeline that I would have figured. Now, I don't know if that's because I'm following or my feed is showing me people that aren't as inclined in the abstract ecosystem, because maybe it's a whole bunch of new people. And this is the conversation we could go on for a while. Is every person that you look at that has an NFT as their avatar, you can look at them and probably 9 times out of 10 in a like a row of 10, the people probably minted that collection or were in early, or it was when they really got into the space. And that's how I viewed things early. If somebody had a CryptoPunk, I was like, damn, they've been in the space for a while. When Bored Apes came out, I was like, okay, I can relate to everybody that has a Bored Ape, because I feel most of us got into the space around then and was associated with it. And we go down to nowadays, do you look and see that same kind of reflection? Or do you realize if I see somebody with an NFT and you can vividly tell, it's funny how you can look at an image and be like, it's an NFT, right? Even if you don't know what the collection is that their first venture into the space where they just keep that as their profile, showing this is like a historical mark of when I was in. And so for abstract, you know, people are going to be changing up their things to represent, hey, we were a part of like abstract's initial launch or being a part of something, but the notion around community. But I think abstract streaming has probably been the best thing that they've shown so far. It's interesting when you look at this too, because now you're farming for abstract. OpenSea you're farming, Blur you were farming. Barachain just announced that they're launching on February 13th, somewhere soon. Maybe it was the 8th, but that's coming up. But for Pengu, if you happen to own the token that was gifted to people that just had an older Solana or Ethereum wallet, or if you happen to own Pudgy Penguin NFTs, but now you're getting bonuses for holding that on abstract or just owning it in general. And so how does that work with the farming? So then let's relate this to a second. You have people from different times representing different avatars. And you're also trying to onboard different people, which everybody has interesting experiences with that. But Sean Robb's saying, how do you onboard your parents onto Web3? And they say NBA Top Shot, NFL All Day, or Disney Pinnacle. And I would generally agree that the way that Flow has done their onboarding process is maybe the best in the entire space. Because, I mean, even with abstract, it's still very sleek UI. But there's still those crypto connotations where, you know, you have to have a wallet, you got to do these exchanges. With Dapper, it's literally like you put in a credit card and boom, you're done. Boom, you're done. That's it. Still don't think anybody's beaten them yet. And to highlight how the story from yesterday is no longer the story today, back on the 27th, people shitting on Penguins today, people shitting on Azuki last week. Let's be real. These are the two strongest communities in the entire space, and I'm not just talking about NFTs. Proud to support both. And this is a question too about communities. Is Web3 communities actually bigger and or better than ones that are outside of it? If you look at sports, you have people that are interested in various teams, but you also see them absolutely clobbering each other in the head over various takes that they have. So as a notion, sure, we can say, you know, the NFL fan base as a whole or the, you know, MLB fan base as a whole is massive. But for people that are in like kind of a tight-knit group, where does Web3 specific NFT communities compare to the likes of any other individual entity? That is the question of the day. And these bonuses are absolutely insane for abstract as well. Little Pudgies, they get 7.5%. Pudgy Penguins get 50% bonus point multipliers. Gigachad, 75%. These are nuts. Although I'm confused how, like, what is a Gigachad? Like, what is a Gigachad and why does it get 25% more than a Pudgy Penguin holder when Pudgy Penguins are like $40,000? Unbelievable. And back on the time, Pawns was asking, again, I ask, why would anyone think that abstract would token generate on day one? Because it was never denied by the team, saying, why would they? And Cappy saying, to set clear expectations. Now, director of vibes is dead. That's a term that people used to use in Web3. But I think the director of expectations is the role that everybody needs to have right now. If you're a massive collection out there, if you have a director of expectations and you can set them before anything, it doesn't matter if you potentially ruin out on speculation one way or another, because we've seen how people react. But I think if you can set expectations, you're set for life. That's it for this edition of XFeed. Thank you so much for coming on through. Notorious, I see you down in the chat. Appreciate you coming on through as per usual. The Segment Discord. Again, if you go to that or on their X page at Segment.io, jump in their Discord, keyword Schiller, get whitelisted for that free mint. I'll probably mention it again if we don't have a whole lot of people. I'm not really sure how that works or how many people are going to jump into that, because I know it's a new ecosystem. Not everybody wants to do that, but it is an opportunity for you guys. Hope you enjoy that. We'll talk soon.